It's been a long time since I've posted. It's been a quiet time inside, which is new for me. I've been witness to the most amazing process that I always knew was possible, but certainly never imagined or could have imagined what it would feel like to actually bear witness to somebody unfolding a lifetime of being a certain way and being ruled by trauma and shoulds and habitual ways of being that were created for self-preservation or, to get by, to survive, whatever we all do when we're kids, right? We take in the messages and conform or do what we need to do to get through. And my husband has been doing such big work since October, really. He, read this book, Iron John by Robert Bly, which kind of turned him inside out, started wringing him out, And, gosh, it's been kind of one thing after another. This awesome book, Already Free, which is like Buddhist philosophy meets Western psychotherapy, and there's so many other books. Actually, I can't remember them all, but he's just been devouring ideas and processing them through his body and changing, unfolding, letting go, changing, unfolding, letting go, finding his voice, stating his truth, working through a trigger for 9 hours straight until the tears of kind of joy and release are coming while he's making chocolate chip cookies, I've been stunned silent, I've just been awestruck at, I feel like I have had these windows of personal growth in my adult life, most of them kind of kicked off through an experience at like the Esalen Institute, dancing with the shadow, or, that was a month-long workshop embodying the dark side of the soul and processing in groups and then working during the day and working it out, and then playing the edge, which was like, if you're considering some kind of major transition in your life, come and blah, blah, blah. That one was only a week, but that blew my mind. And, and then assisting workshops that my friend Jeremiah led, watching other people go through their processes and holding space for that, watching people let go of old stories that don't serve them and trauma and rebirth and, there's all kinds of things that I've witnessed in my life, but never have I seen someone that I'm as close to. And obviously, his journey directly affects my life, right? Because we cohabitate, because we are raising a child, because we're in partnership and we've made promises to one another. And one of the promises we made when we made our vows was that we were going to keep growing up together, right? That we were going to keep opening and growing and evolving as a human being in our individual selves and in partnership. And for years, I've been begging him to say what's true. Like when he gets annoyed with me or when he hears something that I say that doesn't resonate or whatever, he learned to shut down, right? You don't say something. If you don't have something nice to say, you don't say it at all. It's a pretty simple rule. You've probably said it to your kids, right? Careful. Because nice is relative, right? And I have said to Josh over the years, like, God, please say what's true. When you hear me saying anything, when you watch me parent our child, like, reflect what's true, because God knows I will grow up in this life. But if you reflect shit back to me, it'll happen a lot faster, right? Like, I'm committed and I'll figure shit out on my own and I'll unfold and I'll get things reflected back to me from trusted people in my life. But if you participate, you, my partner, participate and start holding me accountable and reflecting back what you hear and see so that I can see it in real time, holy shit. Game changer for me. And I've been kind of begging him to do that, and also suggesting, God, and if you don't, not only do I not get to grow up faster, and all of us in this family benefit from that, but you're going to store shit, and you're going to pack it away, and you're going to pack it away. And one day, 20 years from now, you're going to wake up and you're going to realize you hate my guts. You're loaded with like all this stuff that you don't like, you know, that you never said. So please, you know, I've been saying this for years. Just say it, right? And here is my husband now. He hasn't actually gotten to that part. We'll see. I mean, he is. He's sharing what's true for him, and we're having more productive parenting conversations because he's participating in a more honest way. My life will probably go through a pretty significant change once his training wheels are off and he really like rolls with this feedback stuff. Right now, it has more to do with his own personal life. The changes are still really unfolding, and how he manages what comes up for him, and he's willing to dig, and he's willing to dive, and he's willing to share, and he's willing to stick with it. And this is all brand new, and he is like not stopping, and it's freaking profound to watch. And I literally have been just kind of like holding space, watching this unfold, thinking, holy shit. There's a nugget in this. If you've been following this story, my husband's been suffering from seizures in his sleep, and really random, you know, like 60 days apart, you know, but, you know, 60 days apart, they keep happening. It's been about 50 days now. It's been about 45 days since his last one. Anyway, someone close to me suggested the possibility that maybe he was having dreams, traumatic dreams that were triggering these seizures, because they were always happening from a deep state of sleep. You know, thank goodness he's been safely in bed every time that happened. But somebody planted that seed or threw it out, right? And I was like, huh. And then a week later, another trusted friend who's a doctor wondered out loud if that might be going on. And that night, Josh had gone through this pretty thick process of being triggered. I'm going to try to give the cliff notes here. But he didn't sleep on a Friday night all through the Saturday. And I woke up at 4 a.m. to him just like, you know, stuck and mad and whatever. And he let me in, and we started teasing out this stuff that he was all triggered about. And we spent 4.5 hours and 2 pots of coffee working this thing out. And then he spent the day like continuing. And that night, I woke up to his body doing what felt like maybe the beginning of a seizure. His leg was jerking. There was something in his arm that I felt my hand. And so I woke him up. And sure as shit, he was having a very traumatic dream. He hasn't remembered his dreams in like 20 years. And he remembered this dream that I woke him out of. He heard me calling him, and it pulled him out of where he was. He was able to stand up and walk away from this traumatic scene. And it was occurring to him, oh shit, I hope I haven't had another seizure. And he came out, and he woke up, and he remembered this dream, and we were able to talk about it, and he didn't have a seizure. But when he shared the content of the dream and where it was going, it seemed like, yeah, we could both see how that absolutely moments later could have turned into a major traumatic event that he was witnessing and might have set him off, right? We're unattached to that. The important piece about this is that it's shifted something for me. I feel like if that's what's going on, I feel so much more capable to come toward him and help him if he has another seizure. I feel like I can love him and go toward this with my whole heart. I know how to nurture and care for somebody who is in pain. You know, I'm not afraid of that. I can go toward that. What I have witnessed has been scary to me, and I haven't understood it, and I have kind of wanted to get away from it, you know, like it's happening and I need to keep him safe, but I've been like, I don't, you know, and what if our kid comes in? What if he sees all this? And, you know, and now I feel like, okay, if Britt wakes up, then I love him, and we love my husband together, you know, and it's okay, and it just doesn't feel so scary. So anyway, we have this possibility that maybe this psychogenic seizure, maybe that's what's going on. Maybe he's not epileptic. Maybe it's psychological. And maybe it's true that we stopped a seizure and we kind of feel like maybe we interrupted some cycle. But he just keeps going and unfolding, and it is really, really rich. I'm super mindful of the time. It's been over 10 minutes. I'm sorry. It's been really, really rich to watch him continue. And the dreams that he had from that Saturday night that I woke him out of this traumatic dream, the next night he had a voice in his dream. And he remembered standing up and using his voice in a way that he's never been able to in his life, to a person that he's never been able to in his life. And then the next dream, on the next night, he was like being rescued by himself. You know, they're moving out. Like, he has had access to his dreams since that night, over a week and a half ago now. And it's extraordinary what's going on. And I am aware that there's a Western model of medicine that has Josh on medication right now that will require that he continue to take more and more and more. And that's fine. We're walking both paths at the same time. But I'm feeling incredibly inspired to share about our experience with epilepsy or seizures, and recognize that, 1 in 4 people doesn't respond to medication. And maybe that's because there's so much more going on here with that 25%, perhaps. I mean, I'm not a medical doctor or a therapist or anything else, but it makes sense to me. And the possibility that we are so much more involved in our own health makes perfect sense, and is aligned. And I feel like there's a lot of places that this could go, a lot of important places where this could go. So for whatever all of this is worth, it's been a nugget fest to watch him speak, establish boundaries, release, exhale, unfold, let go, continue, repeat, say, remember, realize, release. It's just this incredible process to bear witness to on a very intimate level. And it's like the stuff of life. This is what I wanted in a partnership, but I didn't even know how to imagine what it would ever be like to go through it, right? I mean, there's like the blissful, happy side of like personal growth and evolution, and then there's the like nitty-gritty, getting in there stuff. And that is the stuff of life. Like, this is where it is, And I think all of us have these things that are holding us back. And man, what a powerful process that starting to delayer, to detangle, to tease out, to be bigger versions, of ourselves, grander perspective. Careful what you say to your kids, You don't have something nice to say. Maybe that's a little too simple. Anyway, it's important to be kind, and it's important to recognize when we manipulate people into behaving, doing, or being a way that we want them to be, rather than what's true and healthful for their beingness in the world. It's powerful work. So there we go. 15 minutes worth of Babylon here, but it's feeling pretty rich in my shoes right now. Thanks for tuning in.